Wreckage recovery efforts continue this morning after last week's deadly DCA air disaster, and despite some setbacks yesterday, crews made some substantial progress.
Let's break down that progress, the recovery efforts, where they stand right now. First, officials say they have positively identified 55 of the 67 people killed in Wednesday's mid-air collision over the Potomac River. Second, crews were able to remove one of the two engines on the American Airlines Eagle Flight 5342, along with one of the wings and the main cabin. Now, these parts will head to a hangar for an inspection later today.
And finally, two men from Maryland are facing charges for leaking video of the collision to CNN. They work for the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority. They are charged with making an unauthorized copy of Airports Authority records. To talk more about in-depth about recovery efforts, let's head out to Jess Arnold, who is live outside Reagan National Airport this morning. And Jess, crews are ramping up their operations ahead of tomorrow's weather.
Yeah, that's right. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers said that they're actually ahead of schedule, and today they're planning to focus on recovering the passenger jet's cockpit. Of course, that work that when the sun comes up behind me, you'll be able to see behind me, will begin once day breaks. Now, you talked about the victims. Of course, that's the priority. They said they did recover some more of the victims yesterday. They just have to work now to identify them.
It's tragic, and everything imaginable that you can think of, right? That is what they're dealing with day in and day out.
Right now, the number of victims recovered still stands at 55 of the 67 who are positively identified. Yesterday, salvage crews recovered the first of the two engines, the fuselage, and a wing from the water. Now, here you can see the crash site from a bird's eye view that the National Transportation Safety Board recorded using a drone. Now, in this other NTSB video, you can see investigators analyzing the data recorder that was recovered from the passenger plane. Preliminary data shows conflicting readings on the altitudes of the plane and the Black Hawk helicopter before they collided. According to the NTSB, the jet's flight recorder showed its altitude as 325 feet, give or take 25 feet, before the accident. Now, data in the control tower showed the helicopter at 200 feet at the time of impact, which is the maximum allowed. Investigators said it appeared the plane might have tried to pull up a second before the deadly crash, but they're hoping to iron out discrepancies as they continue to analyze the black box data.
I think it's important for us to not speculate, because there are all kinds of reasons that you could deviate from an altitude. You know, something as simple as a flock of birds is in front of you.
The NTSB has also interviewed the air traffic controllers who were working that night. They say one of them was working the job of two people. They also found that the plane and helicopter were on two different radio frequencies, so they were able to communicate with air traffic control, but not communicate with each other. Now, once crews finish recovering the wreckage of the passenger plane, then they're going to turn their attention to the Black Hawk helicopter. They're hoping to do that in the next few days. Of course, that could be weather dependent. And they also said yesterday that they are hoping to have all of this done by the weekend. Guys.
Jess Arnold reporting. Thank you, Jess, for that report.